Good morning. I'm so glad you're here. Do you like the face I put on my my cover? It's like, oh my goodness, we have so much going on. And so let's start today with the solar flares, and then I'm going to move into. I want to talk about Neptune, and there's a reason I want to talk about Neptune. So tune in, like stay there. And thank you so much for being here and watching this. And make sure you like and subscribe. And today we're going to talk about those big energies that are going on, right? Okay, so to start with, first and foremost, the solar flares are quiet. They've been so quiet, it's weird. So if we go to the chart, whoa, you can see that these are the sea levels right here, and then they'll peak up right here and over here on an M, like very little activity. Well, the C classes are between 4 and 8, which means that they're sort of doing a little bit of bumping, but they're like tap, 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 get ready. We have some shit gonna happen. So get used to being nudged, get used to moving around, right? And then we go, over here to the space weather, and you can see the yellows are just those C's. And here it says that since Sunday, we've had an M1 and an M3, and today we're at an M4.9. So we've been hinting, we've been threatening, we've been playing with the idea that there's such a thing as an X flare coming, but it hasn't. We haven't had an X flare since January 3rd and January 4th. We had two back to back after December. So just know that we're sort of in this lull, and I would say be very thankful that we're in a lull because there's some other astrological things going on, right? The KP index of geomagnetic has just been a little bit bumpy, and at the same time, we're feeling exhausted, we're feeling triggered, we're feeling as if we're being pummeled by X class flares. And last week we talked about the fact that this is astrological, and first and foremost, I'm not an astrologist, but and when someone who is a trusted astrologist says, buckle up, buttercups, here we go, we've got something to address, I put that together with some of the energies that I'm already seeing. And I make note of that, right? So let's just look at what's going on right now, sort of in the climate of Earth. What's going on in our world? What's going on in our nation? What's going on in our local system? And you can tell that there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of judgment and pointing fingers. There's a lot of things being revealed that are bringing up feelings of betrayal and distrust, and it's impacting the United States and then into the countries around the world based on economics, based on policy, based on confrontations, wars, based on everything. So we are in a very dicey period. Of course we are. Makes sense. And so that's why I want to talk about what's really going on. And if we go to the astrology, I think you're going to just laugh because I was watching Iris J, who does Madrona's Madrona's Pulse. I like her. I like her a lot. For whatever reason, she and I speak the same similar language, so it helps. She showed a zodiac chart, and if you can see what's circled, I just grabbed this off of her video. All of that is what's happening in Pisces in the next 34 days. That means that every single planet that you can find is over here in that spot, right? So that just gives you an idea that something big is happening. And if you go to astrologers or even just, like put in some astrology on Instagram or TikTok, they're going to go, whoa, March, and I think, oh, well, how do I help you understand what's really going on, right? Because we have planetary movements, we've got all these alignments, we've got these, we got a new moon start on the 14th, a new moon on the 27th. We've got a lunar eclipse on the 14th. So we're beginning this eclipse season. As we know, eclipses kind of come in and rattle some things up. And we have these energetic influences that are not exactly easy to understand, right? So it seems to me that, what's happening is we're being pummeled with a lot of information that's coming in. And because Neptune's involved, it's a lot of water, it's a lot of insight, it's a lot of intuitiveness. It's a lot of like gut feelings. And between these two, they're kind of letting us know something is getting ready to spout, something is getting ready, and it's very big. So I'm going to add it to the 20, which is the huge card at the end of the major arcana. And you look at, our activations, our innate skills are being activated, and we are working on what we're going to call the cosmic consciousness, which means we're connecting, we're tapping into something that is much bigger than what we have known. Now, the reason I want to talk about Neptune, and please stay in this because even if you don't follow astrology, we spent a few weeks this summer talking about Pluto, and Pluto being at the 29 degrees, right? So 29 degrees, if each sign is 30 degrees, 29 degrees is that last little bit. And the analogy I've been using with some of my friends is like you're packing, and your moving truck is scheduled to come at 8 a.m. on the day that you're moving, and either the afternoon before, the night before, or all night, or the morning of, you're still not ready for the movers to come, and you're cramming things in boxes. You're sort of in it's both a level of excitement and readiness. Maybe you've got some few things to put in. Maybe if you're, like an organizer or have some Virgo tendencies like I do, you're sitting on your boxes waiting for the truck and you've got your checklist. At any rate, you're in this anticipatory, and things are kind of condensing and they're coming in, right? So Neptune is at 29 degrees from March 4th to March 30th. And if you look at astrology, 28 point whatever is always rounded up to 29. So we've been in this energy for a week and a half now, right? Which is that 29 degrees, what is it? Anoretic? Yeah, anoretic. I think that's what the term that they would use. And yeah, anoretic. And it's the ending, because it's the ending of a 14-year cycle, because Neptune takes 185 years to go around the Earth, right? Or to go through the whole zodiac cycle. And it's been in Pisces since April 2011. Now, I don't know about you, but when I went back to April 2011, I realized that that's when the mystical part of me went into full motion, like pedal to the metal, went right straight into it. I was coaching, I was working with parents and parent dynamics, and working with high levels of sensitivity, high levels of reactivity, and trying to help parents understand that their behaviors that are invisibly promoted by something that they're experiencing. But I wasn't getting as far as I wanted to in coaching. And then in 2011, I started mystery school. I really mastered my tarot reading. I started studying tarot and esoteric wisdoms. I started looking at all of this information on the indigos and the crystals and the rainbows, and the diamonds started coming in. So for these last 14 years, 14 and a half years for me have been phenomenally metaphysical. So has that been in your experience? Like, what have you noticed that since 2011 you've been attracted to, you've been doing? Now, the other reason I want to talk about Neptune is that when we're at the 29 degrees on Pisces, Pisces is the 12th sign. It's the last house, which means we're in the last month of 185 years. So we're at a closure of a zodiac cycle. We're at a closure of a phase. We're at a closure of a sign. And I just wanted to sort of lay it out there that 185 years ago, like, where were we at that time? And I will go through that. Like, what are we really doing now that we're 185 years away, which was our pre-industrials. And it was 1840 was pre-industrial in the United States. It was at the height of the movement west. It was also, if you look at the Tartarians, the end of the Tartarian age and the beginning of this administration at the turn of the 1900s into the management of Western cultures. And so, there's a lot of controversy about the Tartarians and a lot of uncovering and revealing that's still to come up. So This is Neptune. This is Neptune with its power of water that can just push things away. So let's go through some of the attributes of Neptune so that you really get a handle on what it is, why I'm talking about this, and why it's important, right? So it's a purification and purging planet, right? It's water. It is the second octave above Venus. So if we know that Venus is love and beauty, this is the depth of the ocean. This is the Triton. It's the cross with the little circle on top of, or half crescent moon on top of it. It is the ruler of the oceans, the seas, the rivers, the whales, right? Like whales, WELLS, where water springs eternal, where water is used as a force. It dissolves old structures, it breaks down boundaries, and it means that something is being revealed. So in the last 14 years, look at what started to come to the surface, whether it's planets, whether it's islands we didn't know, airplane crash information. Right now, we're exploring some of the political assassination histories, the arrests of who's been involved in financial fraud, like all of these things that are coming up, right? It is also where inspiration and dreams, and where we become inspired to who we are comes from, right? Um, it intensifies our intuition and our innate skills. Like this is where our clairs, this is where we start to really look around and go, like, I'm feeling things, I'm knowing things, I'm seeing things. And it is a cycle of closure. So Neptune is going to bring closure. Uranus is going to bust things up. Pluto's going to dive down deep, but Neptune's going to go, like, finish it up. We have work to do when we're done with this, right? So it connects to our spiritual purpose, and it is also the cosmic consciousness. So I look at these really beautiful esoteric pictures, right? This one comes from the Roeg, and this one comes from the Rumi. And I have three other Rumi cards that I thought really help understand the depth of what Neptune is all about. So, look at the water, look at the sun, look at the sort of movement that comes from this. Look at the way that she's being completely regenerated and receiving information that's purple and blue and crystalline. And then you can look at this water and these waves, and being able to walk on that, and understand that we're in the depths of an enormous emotional, intuitive, purging time in our world. After 185 years, we're in this for the last 14 years, closing it, and now it's coming to a head. This is a resurgence of love and peace, right? This is where some of the pieces of who we are and what we've known have started to come together. I love this. This is the Zen star card, but it shows like sort of like her intuition just ruling everything. The moon is in the spot of her intuition, right? So it connects us to our spiritual purpose. It's the resurgence of love and peace and compassion. And it's the desire to remove limitations that have kept us from being able to expand into who we are. It's also profound letting go and flowing with it, letting go of anything we've been holding on to on the emotional level. Because right now, what we're feeling is we feel like we're being pulled into an undertow, like, ugh, everything is up and I don't know what to do with this. And we're being forced to release things that we've been holding on to really tight. And that forced release is just, it's got us a little rattled. It's got us emotionally sort of rattled. And when I look at this card as the Ace of Cups, it's like this stuff is coming in, and it's coming in big, and it's coming in hard, right? So our imagination, our expression, our dreams are being activated. I don't know about you, but if you close your eyes and go to sleep, it's like boom, 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 boom. You're in this dream state that is deep and profound, and there's a lot happening. It is also, Neptune is the source, it is water, it's the source of all life. So what we're doing is we're refining, we're wearing down, we're shaping and creating channels of where we're going to go. What's our power? Who do we know ourselves to be during all of this time? So it's in the supernals, in the Kabbalah, in the tree of life. It's going to be in this bigger, non-visual, non-active way, but impactful in everything. So Neptune, because it's at the higher realms, because it's a supernal, it's like it's going to say, hey, this is the biggest time on Earth's history in millennia, right? And we all signed up to be here right now to watch this happen. Even though we're in an undertow, even though we're having emotions pulled around in us, even though we're in it and it's deep, we're here now. We wanted to be here now for this. So kind of look at the reincarnation concept, the placement, the star seeds, the way that everything seems to be building into a crescendo at this point. I think that this is where, I don't know where we're going. I just know that March is going to be a lot of chaos, and I'm going to spend, every week going through trying to help us break it down and define it. So I have 6 tips for you, but before I get going, I want to just do a plug, couple things. I have a Patreon site. Patreon does a couple of things. It gives you access to the discussion group. It also is a place where I post all of these videos and resources that I'm finding, because you can't post them on YouTube. And it also provides financial support for me. And that is something that's really important at this time, because we all need support, right? And me more than most at this point. So you can also support me by hiring me to do sessions, coaching sessions. There's links down below on how you can get a hold of me. And I do tarot. And I do tarot in a really beautiful way. We spread things out and we go like, so what's really going on here? So that it offers some clarity. So let's move on to the tips and sort of see what I've got here. So, when the planets start pushing us, when they're ganging together like they are in March, and they're influencing us on such a profound level, this is when you want to, number one, start documenting. Whether it's in a journal, whether it's notes in your phone, go like, wow, I had very, very big dreams last night. And it was different, and you can list out some of the things that you noticed. And it brings you into active observing. And so that's what we want to do, is we want to actively observe, and we want to document, just to kind of keep track of what you personally have experienced over the last week or two, or going forward over the next 4 weeks, right? Because this is an active connection with you and your internal world. So number one, start documenting. Number two, do some research. And the research, because we're at Neptune at 29 degrees, and because we have this powerful new moon in Pisces and this lunar eclipse, you might want to look those up and find out, what does it really mean? And just going through either a chat GBT or going through an actual internet search, what it does is it gives you the surface level, so you don't have to do those deep dives. It can just give you an overview. And a lot of times it's the easiest way just to get a greater understanding of what's going on. Because when we do our research, that what we're doing is we're training ourselves to validate and notice, oh, right, so that's what's going on. So there's a validation piece that happens when we do our research, which is, I'm not crazy, right? Remember, I'm not crazy. This stuff is really actually going on. Number 3, track your emotional experiences, your physical experiences, and your mental experiences, because they're going to assist you in your innate skills. What are you noticing? What do you need? What do you, your body, your field need? What is it that you're noticing? So tracking is almost like, oh, this is the time of day when I start to, or this is where my innate skills start to pop open, and it's a little different than what I'm used to, because I can hear things in my head and I can see things on a more profound level than I have before. So tracking can be different than documenting, right? What it is it's like going like, what part of so we break the elements down. What are my emotions doing? What are my mental part doing? What am I experiencing physically, right? So track these elements, right? Number 4, expand your innate skills What I'm saying about that is your ability to listen with your whole body, with your entire field. And we've talked about this. Use all of your clairs. What are you smelling? What are you feeling? What are you noticing? What is it that you know inside that you didn't know before? So see, feel, know, smell, touch, um, empathic skills. What are you picking up on? Because what we're noticing is that these skills are coming to the forefront because they're necessary. We need to use these when we're evaluating what somebody is saying on the news, or somebody saying in an interview, or somebody saying to you from across the table at a coffee house, and go like, oh, I'm getting a real clear idea of where they are with that statement and what that's about. Because what we want to do is not like get into reaction. Okay. Number 5, what is being revealed and removed and broken down and dissolved? Pay attention to that. Is it our financial system? Is it our trust in government? Is it a newfound understanding of the role of organization and what to do with that? These are pieces that are going to start to like become very unreal to us, especially as Neptune goes into these next 4 weeks. And what we want to do is we want to know that things are being revealed on a global level, on a local level, on a galactic level. And so, what's going on in your world? What's going on in your field? What's crumbling? What's crumbling away? This is really important to acknowledge, because as we've been building up, things are crumbling. Pluto's coming in and dismantling. The indigos have been dismantling things for 50 years. Now what's happening is it's starting to show itself. And it's emotional and it's water based, and it's going to show up as something really big. And then number 6, be gentle, be strong, and be compassionate, because we're stepping into a 35-day life changing series of revelations and a new understandings. And we're all going to do it different. We're all going to feel it different, see it different, and understand it differently. And our responses and our reactions are going to be unique to us, and everybody has their own pain, their own sorrow, their own joy, and their own inspiration. So this is where we are all 3, right? We're gentle with ourselves and compassionate, and we're rock solid and strong in who we are. So let me know if I can be assistance to you as we go through this, and let you know just how rock solid and strong you are. Love to hear from you. If not, I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.